These are, about 13 of the now 198 journals that I'm on. So this is morning pages number 198. I wanted to share this. I've done a lot of videos on the channel about writing in a journal, but I'd put everything together into one video, and this is it. So there's really two phases of this: mindful presence and mindful presence writing, and then agile life design, building prototypes, exploring ideas that you can do on the back end of establishing this non-judgmental present awareness of what's going on in the present moment in your pages. By the way, if you're interested in this and you want to start a daily writing habit and you feel like you need the support of someone like me and other people who are also doing this, we have the 14th cohort of Writing the Good Life that starts next week on Wednesday nights Mountain Time. It's an amazing experience, and I'd highly recommend it if you want to take this further. So we're going to go through all of the writing information that I have, and I'm going to end with my favorite things to write about. So if you're stuck on what to write about, stick around to the end. That's when I'm going to give you that. Okay, so the main thing here is that we're practicing mindfulness. John Kabat-Zinn defines mindfulness as a present awareness, or an awareness of the present moment that's attentive and non-judgmental. So we're able to embrace what's coming up without judging it or labeling it as good or bad. This is a constant practice, or a repetitive practice, because we're doing this over and over again. When I notice something arise, like depression, depressive ideas, or anxiety, or something, how great it would be if, some beautiful thing that arises, both the icky and the wow, I'm treating with a non-judgmental awareness. Oh, that's interesting, curious, I'm still going. Okay, so you're just writing what you need to write and saying what you need to say. We actually use Natalie Goldberg's from Writing Down the Bones. It's a great book, her 5 rules of free writing, or 5 rules of writing that she uses. Number 1, you just keep your hand moving. Don't reread what you've written. Don't try to actually look at what you've done and see where you're going. You're just going for a stream of consciousness. Keep on going. Like that. Number 2, don't cross out. So don't edit, don't erase, don't wish you had written something different. Just keep going. You're not trying to write well, you're just trying to write. Rule number 3, don't worry about spelling, punctuation, or grammar. It's just hard because we have this ingrained idea that spelling equates to intelligence, and that's just patently not true. Number 4, you lose control. Don't think too much. Don't come at this from a super logical place. See how well you can be in your body, and from that space, really being attentive to what's arising, what's alive, how you might want to go about presenting that in your pages. And this connects to the last one, number 5, go for the jugular. She says and the jugular is the vein that carries the most blood through your brain and your heart. I'm not a biologist, so pardon if that's not quite correct. You're going for what's most alive, where the current is strong, and that whatever's coming up, whatever happens to come up when you write in your pages, that is gold. That's what you're trying to do. Step 2 on this is beginning to go where we want to go. So it's not just writing down everything that happens, it's cultivating these positive emotions that we want to experience more of. Barbara Fredrickson in Positive Psychology has this broaden and build idea of positive emotions. Positive emotions like joy, humor, awe, wonder, gratitude, these things that make us feel good and feel good to be alive. This is why I'm hinting that this practice can change your life. These things that get stronger as we experience them. So when a really good thing happens to you, it's best to savor it, to really feel it for as long as you can, at least 20 seconds. Someone says something nice to you, don't just be like, that's it. No, you're really, oh, thank you. That feels really good. And you know what feels really good about that is the fact that it came out of your mouth, and so on and so forth, trying to savor the experience for what it is. The more you build, the more you feel these positive emotions, you broaden your ability to see and think in new ways. You're kind of expanding your ability to act, not from a narrow, limited place, but from a broader place. So this idea that when we experience positive emotions, we broaden and then build our capacity for new thought action repertoire. So the way we think and the way we act in the world, we can broaden and build our capacities for those positive emotions that help us have more agency and be able to see options that we didn't previously see when we're mired in our own shit that we've now unloaded on the page to give us some room to intentionally commit to these positive experiences and positive emotions that we generally, at least maybe speaking personally, I want to experience more of. So number one, you might just write what you're grateful for if you want to experience more gratitude. If you want to experience more joy and levity in your life, write down the times that you've experienced joy and levity. Remember, really feel it in your body. Feel the joy. Really go there. Put it into words on the page, which reinforces the memory. And now I'm really feeling this joy, and it feels good, and I can barely contain myself. I can write letters to my friends that I haven't talked to. I can say kind things to myself. So one of the main things you can do, if nothing else, in your pages is to just work to say kind things to yourself. And the more specific they are, the better they will feel. You can say kind things to other people. So we can practice gratitude, kindness, savor the experience that we want to have more of, to hardwire the happiness that we're feeling in our pages. And then lastly, we want to celebrate the fact that we're doing this. It is astonishing that one of the key things I've gotten out of this practice is just the idea that I could decide to do something and actually do it. One day I was not a daily writer. The next day I was a daily writer. Actually, it took more like a week for me to feel like, you know what? Yeah, I'm doing this. I decided to do it. It feels good. I'm going to celebrate it. And now I've got this positive feedback loop, which, per the science of tiny habits and behavioral formation, if you can celebrate your small wins, you get a dopamine kick. And now I'm associating writing in this page, being kind to myself, listing my gratitudes as a way that I feel good. I want to do it more. I keep on going. This is positive force. And now you're seeing how this practice is beginning to change your life. So if you're stuck, what do you write about? This is the list of my best prompts. I'll put them down below in the description, along with the description of the courses, so you can refer to them later. But they are, where are you right now? Like, what's going on around you? What's happening in your environment? That's a good one to get started. If you really blocked, you can just start describing things that are around you, and that gets it going, and then usually something comes up after that. Where's your heart right now? Like, how do you feel? What is arising that needs attention? What's going on that you need to say? It's another one. What do you need to say right now? Is something you need to get off your chest? It's okay, the pages say. You can tell me. Tell me what you need to say, and I won't judge you. I'm just a page. Well, thanks. That's great. You're just like my therapist, except less judgmental. No, that's a terrible joke. How do you feel? What do you need to say? Another one, what do you need to hear? So is there something that would help you to hear? I love this one because I can basically give myself the encouragement that I wish I had, and it actually is surprisingly effective to hear what I need to hear. 3 more, 4 more we can do. What happened today or yesterday that you want to remember? So did something happen that's worth remembering? Why don't we put it down so we don't forget it? Are there any synchronicities or ahas? Did something interesting happen? Like you were doing this thing on metacognition, then all of a sudden this source comes up about metacognition, and then someone says, you overhear someone say metacognition, and now I've heard metacognition 3 times. What is metacognition? I'm gonna go with that synchronicity. Or an aha, like aha, this morning, I don't need to pay attention to numbers. I need to pay attention to quantity or quality, something like that. And then the last one, Benjamin Franklin ended every day with, what good did you do today? He started every day with, what good can you do today? And ended every day with, what good did you do today? If you can find one other person to write with, so just one other person that wants to start this practice, start a text thread with them. Did you write today? When will you write today? How did it go? Don't even judge it, actually, because it's pretty tough to get started. Getting started is the hardest part. Just set at least 5 minutes. I go for 25, and see how much you can write with one other person, accountability buddy. That helps a ton. If you'd like a supportive container and talk with other people, me included, so I facilitate these sessions, but this is the course that I most wanted to take over and over again, which is using writing as a power to facilitate our own flourishing, which is different for everybody, but it includes these things like presence, purpose, pathfinding, people, prototypes, partnerships, and perspective, the big benefits of writing. check out the courses below. There's one that starts next Wednesday, May 24th at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. I keep these groups limited to 9 people, including me. You want that? Okay, that's plenty from me. More than enough. I really do hope that this encourages you to get in your pages as well as you possibly can without judging how well you're getting in there. Interesting paradox. Okay.